everyone, thanks so much for joining me again. Today we're going to be taking a look inside my seed starting setup. I actually have everything in my master bedroom. I am very fortunate with these amazing windows in my master bedroom that I like to call my little indoor greenhouse. I'm going to be showing you what I used last year, which was perfect for my first year gardening. This little rack right here had everything from my flowers to all of my vegetables and herbs. I'm expanding now to a bigger and deeper rack over here for all my perennials, and I actually have a third rack over there by my fireplace, so I can't wait to show you around. Let's come along. All right, so I'm going to be showing you the rack that I used last year. This is literally all you need. You don't need any kind of crazy setup. This rack right here did perfectly fine for me last year as my first time gardening. I grew peppers, I grew tomatoes, I grew cucumbers, squash, and zucchini. What else did I have? Zinnias, snapdragons I started as well. This was totally fine. The only little issue that I had, a little hiccup, was when my tomato plants got too tall. And I'm talking about, I had them on here, so they had a good amount of room. I had to transfer them over to a table with a different kind of a grow light, one that was like on a stand with some arms, because they were too tall. They were hitting the light as high as I had it. So that was my only little hiccup with this rack. But it is perfectly fine. You can start off with this. I think it was under $40 on Amazon. I love it. It does come with a little green like cover or a slip that you can put on it. However, with all the natural light that I have coming in, and I actually do have a heat vent underneath, it got way too hot, so I just decided to take it off, and this year I didn't even bother putting it back on. A good little side note is that this rack, it didn't have any piping to hang anything, so I just took some extra cedar wood that I had from my raised garden beds, and I just laid it right on top, so that way I could take the chains of these lights and then loop them through, and that way this rack on top wasn't wasted. So right now I do have some of my coneflowers. I was checking out my, I don't know, seed harvesting skills, you should say, and I do have some growing. So I did a pretty darn good job for my first time saving seeds. So I have coneflowers and a couple of my other perennials because I wanted them to get a nice, good root system and be a little bit bigger so I could plant these out at my school that I work at, actually. So this is all you need. I have one set of lights here, and then these are LED ones as well underneath. These ones were a little bit cheaper on my second, third, and fourth shelf. I'll also link those as well. So I have 4 different types of lights that I use throughout this whole entire thing. And that's totally fine. I just need something, because I do get a lot of natural light, just to keep a nice, steady, even light going on everything so they can germinate and be nice and happy under here. And as you can see, I'm my winter sowing. And I love this room because it does overlook the garden as well. So this rack, again, I just have a $40 Amazon rack, some cheaper lights. These are going to be the 2-foot ones, and then they hold 2 of these cell trays right here, which are great. And I even use it for a heating as well, for the heat mat. So again, if you're just starting out, this is perfect for you. You can definitely start here. Check out the description for some links, and then we'll go ahead and I'll show you my new rack. All right, now we're gonna be talking about this additional rack that I just added on right here. I actually was very fortunate that this rack I got for free. When my husband's company was moving warehouses, they were actually able to go ahead and take some racks that they no longer needed for the new warehouse and take them home. So I definitely hopped on ones that I could, because I like that it has these openings right here. So that way when I go ahead and I set up my lights, I can go ahead and hook the chains through, and I can adjust it to whatever height that I like. Also over here, I have a extra large heat mat. I just purchased that this year. Last year, I used these smaller ones, and they worked perfectly fine. I had 2 of them. I used it to set up all of my vegetables and my herbs, and then I did grow some snapdragons and some zinnias inside with these. And I want to say maybe some marigolds, but definitely a lot of vegetables. And these were perfect. I had 2 of them, and then I would just go ahead and use one, or both of them I should say, and then I would swap them out once things started to germinate. Then I would set my next batch going. I also definitely suggest getting a thermostat. So I have this one here, and I actually have one for this bigger one. For tomatoes and peppers, you're gonna want it a little bit warmer. For some of your flowers, you might need it a little bit cooler. This room right here gets a lot of sun. It has huge windows, which is amazing. And it also gets the heat on at night and not so much during the day. We have the heat on because we share the same zone as my son's nursery. So I wanna make sure that the fluctuating temperatures aren't affecting everything when everything's germinating. So I definitely like to have a thermostat. You just go ahead and you plug it right in to the soil, and it's perfect, and it just keeps it at a nice, even temperature. So other things I have also purchased for this year is I got some 50 cell trays right here because I'm gonna be trying to grow dahlias inside, and so I wanted something a little bit bigger. And then I'm gonna also be using these for my tomatoes so they have more room for their roots. So I got some 15 cell trays that I'll be using. I have a lot of 72 cell trays that I use to start things, and then I will pot them up later. And then I also got, and these all have humidity domes too, which just makes it so much easier. And then I also got some 40 cell trays as well. They're a little bit smaller, but these will be for like some of my flowers, some of the vegetables that don't need so much space for their roots, and for my herbs, I'll use those as well. Because I have such a bigger rack right here, I need to grab more. So I wanted to get 2 different sizes. So on this, I will be using this top shelf right now as my heat source. I will be adding some lights here, and then I will have lights on here as well. And I'll show you those in a second. So again, these are my lights. I will link the ones I got everything on Amazon. I find Amazon just to be so much easier to get everything from. So I have 3 here, but look, as you can see, is I can hook them and then loop it through, and then I can make it to whatever length I want. So I will go ahead and move these on up once something starts to grow and sprout, and I have 3 of them. And they are all interlinked. And then you can actually have them linked to this next set right here. I currently don't, since they won't be in use. And then this is one of the heat mats that I have. And what it does is you just go ahead and you can put this little guy right here into your soil, and it will keep everything in a nice sturdy pace. As you can see, it has been used and I have not cleaned it yet, but I got a really big one because I wanted it to be able to fit the whole entire shelf. And then these are the next set of grow lights that I will be adding in. And again, I just used these ones last year. I had 2 of them and they were perfectly fine. There's so many different ones, it doesn't matter. Loved this, and then I used this one right here. So that way I could go ahead, and again, it just has this little probe that you stick into the soil. These were great from last year. If you want to see up close, I didn't even open these yet, but I have these, the 15 cell per trays. They're just bigger and a little bit deeper. Those will be for my dahlias and my tomatoes. And then again, they all have the humidity domes. And then I have these as well. All right, and we're on the go for this last one. So I actually purchased this beautiful thing on Facebook Marketplace. So don't forget to check Facebook Marketplace. You might be able to find some people getting rid of things they don't need. But what I love is, if you can see these notches right here, this way, there we go. I can move this pole up as things grow. And I was like, this is gonna be perfect for when I have tomatoes that get really tall. Like, I want strong, sturdy plants. Last year, my issue is that my tomatoes are probably less than a foot tall, I want to say. And when the fall hit, I still had a lot of green tomatoes. So this year, I'm like, I'm starting them early. I want them big and strong. So I thought this would be perfect for tomatoes. And it has also a bottom rack, but it's just housing as storage right now. But it came with these shop lights. I paid 60 bucks for this. So I was like, this is a steal. This one I'll probably be replacing with some of my newer lights, because I'm not quite sure how I feel about plugging these in. They look a little bit old, and I don't want my house to burn down, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna be putting some LED ones instead. And right now I just have all my seeds. And then right behind I have a tape. It's actually going to be the seed starting mix that I like to use. and I have vermiculite to go ahead. And then I have this huge bin that I got from Home Depot, which works fantastic. So I can mix my dirt in here. Unfortunately, my room has a lot of carpet. It's all carpet. So it gets a little bit dirty, a lot of vacuuming happening. So I hope you enjoyed my seed starting. So again, I have this beautiful thing right here. Again, you don't need anything crazy. You can go ahead and use something as simple as this. Oh, I live by an Air Force base. Oh, and there's Gizmo enjoying life right there. And the jets are out because it's so nice out. They must be having a grand old time. And this right here works. So excited. Hello, and thank you so much again for checking out my seed starting setup. I hope you found it useful. Maybe you found something on there that you want to add to your seed starting setup, whether it was some grow mats, a thermometer, maybe some of the trays that I got, or the lights, which there's 4 different kinds again. Check out the description. I tried to put a picture every single time that I showed a product so that way you would know which one it was. Again, pricing may vary as some of these things I did purchase last year, but I really hope it helps. Again, this is my 2nd year. We're all learning together. Hopefully I can shed some light on some things that work for me, some things that don't work for me. All I know is right now that I am itching for the calendar to keep passing by because I really want to start some seed starting soon. And I just cannot wait to get into the garden. I need some warmer weather. I am just so sick of the winter right now. I don't know if anyone else is, but hey, thanks for joining my little adventure today. And go ahead, click subscribe. And if you could like my video, that would mean the world to me. And I will see you soon. Bye.